too.
Starting at guard, junior number 23, Riley Drossel.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are live from Mount Pleasant Area High School in Mount Pleasant, Pennsylvania. The South Union Township Supervisors presents the South Union Township Sports Network today from Mount Pleasant Area High School. It's high school girls basketball as the Laurel Highlands Lady Mustangs this afternoon will go to battle with the Mount Pleasant Lady Vikings. I'm Joshua Scully alongside Carl Childs. The South Union Township Sports Network is a joint cooperative venture with Township Supervisors Bob Schiffbauer, Rick Vernon, and Jason Scott, along with Armstrong and Breezeline Cable and our friends at CUTV, including Gary Smith. Again, Joshua Scully and Carl Childs here with you today. This is a very significant matchup for both teams. Class 4A, Section 3, Laurel Highlands 4-7 in the conference, 6-13 overall. Mount Pleasant just one game ahead, 5-6 in the conference, 8-10 overall. And of course, Ringgold also in that mix. They are 5-6 in the conference, 8-9 overall. Laurel Highlands today in their red uniform, white and blue trim will work left to right. Mount Pleasant in a white uniform, blue and red trim will work right to left. In the center circle, Sammy Williams to jump for Laurel Highlands. Also starting today for the Lady Mustangs, Madison Brooks, Chloe Price, Taylor Swartfager, and Haven Harris. Swartfager comes into this game averaging 13 points per contest to lead the team, and Swartfager involved early there, deflecting a pass away from number 23, Riley Drossel. If you joined us for the earlier matchup between these two teams at Laurel Highlands High School, that name will be familiar to you because Drossel had a huge second half against Laurel Highlands, and that lifted the Lady Vikings over the Lady Mustangs in that contest. Victoria Tepper moves the ball to her right. This is Addison Cole. Cole, where's number 4 for Mount Pleasant? The starters, along with Tepper and Cole, Drossel, number 34, Grace Arrigo, and number 24, Danica Traynor. This ball across the baseline will go to the Lady Mustangs, who will enjoy their first possession. And Carl, considering this is a Saturday afternoon and a relatively chilly day, we've got a really nice crowd here at Mount Pleasant Area High School.
As we should, with the standings the way that they are and these two teams fighting for a playoff spot, we should be in for a good one.
This is going to be a backcourt violation. Pass skips off the leg of Taylor Swartfager. Swartfager, as you would expect, a really impressive season for this young lady. Really helps in every aspect of the game, offensively and defensively. You see her occupying a spot down low right now. She charges out to the wing. She really, I would say, takes away half the court by herself, nearly comes up with a steal here. In fact, she does come up with a steal. Taylor Swartfager takes the basketball away. Swartfager, far sideline, avoids the double team, cuts back to her right, moves the ball near wing. This is Haven Harris. Harris works corner. Madison Brooks wanted to go back to Swartfager. Ball there taken away by Tepper. Handling it here is Cole. Cole comes near wing, now top of the key. Moving far sideline, right in front of head coach Rick Hill for the Laurel Highlands Mustangs. The Lady Vikings under the direction of head coach Scott Hillen. Rebound here following the miss from the Lady Vikings. Rebound going to be secured there by Brooks, and she gets it to Swartfager. We're at 6:31 in the first quarter. No score yet. Here's Price off the far wing. Price, a good-looking drive, floats up a shot. Price second on the team in scoring, averaging 8 per game for the Lady Mustangs. Not successful here as the Lady Vikings come back across the timeline, working our way to Tepper. Tepper on the wing, back up top to Drossel. Drossel, of course, a dangerous shooter. Really can shoot from just about anywhere on the floor. Inside look here to Traynor. No good and off a foot. This one's going to stay with the Lady Vikings on the baseline. Final day of January, Carl. It's hard to believe that we are one complete month into 2026 already.
I couldn't be happier because I am not a fan of this time of year.
Ball gets away from Tepper. Carl, it's a great time of year to go to Florida, if that's in the cards.
Great time of year for Florida or basketball, if you're into basketball, which we are.
True, absolutely. Playoff basketball now just around the corner. Several area teams certainly in the mix for a playoff spot. And really, as you look around the standings in both girls and boys basketball, several teams we might say are on the bubble, on the fringe of a playoff spot. Both of these teams today, the Lady Vikings and the Lady Mustangs, jostling for a playoff spot in their section. The Lady Vikings did win the earlier meeting with the Lady Mustangs. Here's Swartfigger from outside, no good. And the rebound will get to the corner. Sammy Williams in pursuit could not quite get there. Ball goes back to the Lady Vikings. Still no score. 5:40 to play in the first quarter. This will be Cole to handle the basketball. Directly across the Viking here at center court, Mount Pleasant Area High School, Mount Pleasant, Pennsylvania, home to about 4,200 people. The school district encompasses Mount Pleasant, Donegal, and both Mount Pleasant and Donegal townships as well. Inside look here for the Lady Vikings, no good. A strong rebound by number 34, Grace Arrigo. Wild on the shot, but she does get fouled, and she will shoot two. Sammy Williams charged with the foul. So maybe, Carl, we will see our first score of the contest here.
You know, it's been an interesting week. I had the pleasure of covering a couple boys games this week, and it's been the same narrative all week with low-scoring games and a lot of missed baskets. You got to wonder if the winter weather has had an effect on the kids.
Right, maybe not quite as much practice as they might otherwise have. There it is. 1-0. Taylor Swartfeger to handle the basketball. She's going to go to work here on Tepper. Ball moves our way, Chloe Price. Now back up top to Harris. Far wing to Williams. Swartfeger on the C cut, rotates back to the top of the key, gets the basketball, goes to the foul line, gets steered around, goes to Harris. Harris for three off the wing. This one is wide and off the hands of number 34, Grace Arrigo. So this one will stay with the Lady Mustangs. Mount Pleasant, Pennsylvania, a long history of glass manufacturing in this community. Quick look here, trying to find Swartfeger. Ball taken away by Drozel. And she will toss it over to number 24, Trainer, and ultimately they get the ball in the hands of their point guard, Addison Cole. Cole sends it our way. Here's Drozel for three. This one rolls across the front of the rim and down. And the Lady Vikings lead by 4. Drozel certainly capable of that. We saw that in Uniontown when the Lady Vikings came to take on the Lady Mustangs. Carl and I were also on that game, and Drozel was really impressive in that contest. Inside here, the Lady Mustangs are going to be tied up. Good work there by Brooks to not lose control of the basketball. This one will stay with the Lady Vikings. Laurel Highlands head coach Rick Hill has got his team playing some good basketball. This is a young Laurel Highlands team. Here's Swartfeger for three. This one rolls in and out. Rebound secured by number 34, Grace Arrigo. Arrigo pushes it ahead. This is going to be Drozel, sends it our way to Cole. Cole up top to Tepper. Tepper goes high post. Little turnaround shot here for Trainer. Hard off the base of the rim, no good. Drozel knocks the ball out of play. Taylor Swartfeger had closed in on that, tried to secure it. Swartfeger bounces one in to Price. Price across the timeline, waiting for the double team. Tepper really in the back pocket here of Taylor Swartfeger, following her around the court. Ball goes far wing to Harris. Now up top to Swartfeger. Here's Tepper reaching out, trying to snag the basketball. Swartfeger does a good job keeping that one away. Good screen here set by Swartfeger, and that's going to be a shot from Maddie Brooks, but that one comes up just short off the front of the rim. 3:36 to play here in the first quarter. Score holds 4-0. Tepper floats in a pass initially to Arrigo. They wanted to go one more down low to Trainer, but Laurel Highlands takes the ball away. Here's Price on the drive. And blocked here. Ball will go back to the Lady Vikings. I think either Arrigo or possibly even Drozel from behind got a hand on the basketball. Tepper up top to Drozel. Drozel will cut through as she passes to her right to Tepper. Now inside give to Arrigo. Arrigo pulls up and knocks this one down, and it's 6-0. Arrigo has three. Drozel has three. Laurel Highlands looking for their first basket here in the later stages of the first quarter. A quick moving first quarter. Harris on the drive, loses the basketball on the floor. Going to be saved here by Tepper. She rolls the ball over to Arrigo, who then gets it to Cole. Cole across the timeline. Moves it to Tepper on the far wing. Tepper hard off the glass, no good on the shot. Rebound is tipped nearly to the Lady Vikings, but securing it well is Brooks. Brooks, of course, certainly more than capable of doing that. Does a really nice job for this Lady Mustang team. Does some of the dirty work inside, if you will. Here's Price. Top of the key to Tepper. Tepper considered her options, ultimately went to Harris. Now back to Brooks. Brooks, far sideline. Off that sideline, a little handoff here from number 14, Abby Grady, who's recently checked in. Price back up top to Harris. Harris from the top of the key, 3 on the way, no good. Rebound is going to initially be seized by Trainer, who collides with a teammate and then is called with a travel. Ball will stay with Laurel Highlands, the Lady Mustangs looking to get on the scoreboard. 6-0 with 1:53 to play in the first quarter. Ball needs to come in. It goes, I think, was intended for Grady there, but it was deflected away and landed in the hands of Chloe Price. Price sends it our way on the wing. Here's Grady looking inside. Good cut here by Brooks. Brooks was really able to get a shot off there, Carl. That was a lot of effort for her to orient herself back to the basket, and she's going to get a chance to shoot.
I like what Laurel Highlands did on that possession. They weren't trying to force anything. They were moving the ball around, taking their time, and tried to get to the hoop. I think if they play that well, that way they'll have a good game today. I think that's important for them.
Laurel Highlands coach Rick Hill will pull everyone back but Brooks, who misses the first shot. New players checking in for the Lady Vikings, numbers 21 and 22. That's Laurel Rummel and Kendra Brunson. Brunson takes a spot on the far block. Second shot on the way for Brooks is perfect, and it's 6-1. Coming back the other way, the Lady Vikings looking to finish this quarter strong with about 93 seconds to play. Ball comes our wing, number 21, Rummel back up top. Drozel swings it to Cole. They want to go inside to Brunson. Swartfeger ties the ball up, nearly able to take it away. This one stays with the Lady Vikings, 1:23 to go now. Drozel's going to cut from high post. They try to get it to her down low, but the ball was off the foot of Brooks and then nearly taken by Swartfeger. This jump will go to Laurel Highlands. Head coach for the Mount Pleasant area Vikings, Scott Hillen. Longtime women's basketball coach at Penn State Fayette. Coach Hillen, during his time at Fayette, had some great teams. A couple of really good playoff runs, too. Here's Swartfeger, drives, far elbow, jumper on the way, no good. Rebound, pulled down initially by Grady, floated back up, no good. Now Swartfeger gets the offensive rebound, goes back to Grady. Grady on the drive, runs out of real estate, then tries to pass to the wing. The pass is jumped there by Cole with 50 seconds to play. Cole moves it far sideline. Jumper on the way for number 21. Rummel is no good, and a defensive rebound will give the Laurel Highlands Mustangs at least one more opportunity here. Price will go to our wing. Nice move here by Brooks. Brooks trying to go inside to Grady. Pass is deflected and then taken away by Rummel. 27 seconds to go. Price will be called with a blocking foul here, as Rummel had looked to cut from the wing toward the basket. 25.5 seconds.
Both teams are doing a nice job, not to cut you off.
No,
I think both teams are doing a nice job of locking down the paint and trying to keep the offense out on the perimeter.
Yes, I agree. Both teams certainly doing a good job defensively when there's only 7 total points on the board after one quarter. Here's Christina Spallone, who just checked in. She'll go high post, trying to look inside, and Brooks able to knock the pass away. Now she's from the floor, going to pass it ahead to Chloe Price. Price, splitting defenders, gets the bucket and the foul. And how about that? The Laurel Highlands Lady Mustangs needed something to build some momentum on, and I think Chloe Price does that for them there, as Paschke will check in for Laurel Highlands alongside Kaylee Milsom.
That was huge for them. I don't think you want to end the first quarter with 1 point.
Chance here to get this down to 2. Price sends the foul shot on the way, hard off the rim, no good. Rebound secured by Arrigo, and that's going to do it. After one quarter of play, It is 6-3 in favor of Mount Pleasant. So a very competitive game, also a very defensive game. Quite a bit of defense being played both ways. Several turnovers, Carl. We saw some really good steals from the Lady Mustangs, and the Mount Pleasant Lady Vikings are the larger team. They are certainly, I would say, on average, quite a bit taller, really regardless as to who they send on the court. Arrigo, Trainer, Brunson, all have some height. But Laurel Highlands has done a really good job with their positioning, and Swartfager and Brooks, especially inside, have just taken the basketball away a few times.
Yeah, I think it's going to be important for Laurel Highlands to continue to move the ball and try to create space because, like you said, Mount Pleasant's a bigger team, so you got to try to create those lanes in the paint and get them a little bit away from the hoop to try to get those open shots. It's going to be tough.
We want to thank our sponsors today, Smith Lewis Chess CPAs in Uniontown, Davis & Davis Attorneys at Law, the Sprouse Insurance Group and Agent David Hughes, SWGI Specialist, now a part of U.S. Digestive Health, the UPMC Rehabilitation Institute and physical therapist Jim Burns, United Bank, Laurel Highlands Girls Basketball Boosters, and the South Union Township Supervisors Bob Schiffbauer, Rick Vernon, and Jason Scott. So a 6-3 game. If you'd like to see it this way, and maybe some will, Carl, Laurel Highlands is on a 3-0 run. Had trailed 6-0. Mount Pleasant has actually not scored in a few minutes. Opportunity here to Brunson, and I guess I accidentally spoke that into existence as Brunson lays one in for two, and it's 8-3.
That's what ball movement does. If you space the floor and you keep moving the ball, you eventually create those lanes and get those open shots.
Swartfager is going to be fouled from behind by number 21, Laurel Rummel. Foul is on the floor. Laurel Highlands will send it in from the baseline. Haven Harris will step out just beside the S in Vikings. Really great gym here, Carl. I love this gym at Mount Pleasant Area High School. They've got banners everywhere of their accomplishments athletically. And it looks, according to this banner, as Laurel Highlands unfortunately loses control of the basketball here, their swim team has been really, really successful, especially recently. My goodness, banner is nearly full. Turnover here, Swartfager going to go against Arrigo. Floats one up, no good on the shot. Rebound's going to be pulled down by Laurel Highlands. And we've got a jump ball called, I believe. Brooks had been tied up. Ball's going to stay with Laurel Highlands. Again, Harris, this time she stands just to the left of the V in Vikings on the baseline. Finds a target here. Brooks is going to be tied up again. This one will go to the Lady Vikings. 7:07 to play in the second quarter. Brunson will step out, and now Laurel Highlands is ready to show some pressure. Taylor Swartfager at the front of the diamond, now coming near sideline, number 12, Spallone, looking for a target. Rummel, a dangerous pass, gets through to Arrigo. Now this one nearly stolen by Laurel Highlands, and a foul going to be called here as Haven Harris closed in on the near block and got a piece of Lexi Baker as Baker was shooting. So Baker will now shoot 2 foul shots. First one on the way from Baker is good. And Carl, you know, I was thinking about, I know he probably would not want me to say it, and he certainly did not ask me to announce this, but I'm going to share it since it's a beautiful Saturday afternoon here in Mount Pleasant. A very happy birthday to our very dear friend, and I hope he's listening, Justin Timberlake, 45 years old today.
Oh, yeah. Right
no good on the shot, yeah. Going back up for Mount Pleasant, number 23, Riley Drozel picks up her second basket of the game. She now has 5. 11-3 your score.
You think we'll ever get another album out of Justin Timberlake at that age?
That's a great question. I would assume, you know, I'm sure financially he's quite okay. Here's Swartfager for 3 out of the corner, no good, but she gets her own rebound. Little drive here on the near block. Swartfager up off the glass, no good, gets another rebound, and now she's tied up by Drozel. I assume financially, Carl, he's probably in relatively good shape. He's obviously not just had success in the musical world, but he's done some acting too. I think probably haven't heard the last from him, but I don't think he probably feels much pressure either to continue working. This one knocked out of play by number 21, Laurel Rummel. 6:25 to play here in the first half. Scores 11-3. Joshua Scully and Carl Childs with you, Mount Pleasant Area High School. Pass was intended for Brooks. She's immediately tied up as she tracks it down. We've had quite a few tie-ups here. Jump ball will be awarded to the Lady Vikings. Addison Cole checking in. This game, again, very significant within the section. Laurel Highlands needs a win. And Laurel Highlands, really, if you'd like to see it this way, foul going to be called. No, a timeout. 30-second timeout taken by Mount Pleasant head coach Scott Hillen. If you'd like to see it this way, Laurel Highlands controls their own destiny in the sense the teams that they need to pass, they get to play. So they will play Mount Pleasant, obviously, today. They're playing Ringgold on Monday. And then, of course, they conclude the season with Yock, who is below them in the standings. Really, of course, Yock not in playoff consideration, but Ringgold and Mount Pleasant certainly are. And I think Laurel Highlands not only controls their own fate in that way, but really also has the more favorable matchups. If you look at the remaining games that Mount Pleasant and Ringgold will play, their competition is going to be a bit more difficult. Ball sent into Cole following a 30-second timeout. Coach Hillen trying to encourage his team to avoid the double team, and unfortunately for the Lady Vikings, the ball is thrown away, and Laurel Highlands will have an opportunity here. The Lady Mustangs have played very good defensively. At this point, they're just looking for some success on the offensive side of the floor. Here's Harris on the drive. Ball knocked away by number 24, Danica Traynor. Traynor, again, one of several Lady Vikings who really offered this team some height. Ball going to go far corner, then a quick pass inside to Traynor. They swing it our way to Cole. Good ball movement here. Shot on the way from the Lady Vikings. Number 5, Lexi Baker, is no good and out of play, but this one will stay with the Lady Vikings. Ball to come in from the baseline. Quick look up to the wing. This is Rummel. Rummel to Baker. Now they send it all the way to Drozel, and Drozel was fouled as she was about to let go of a jump shot. And Riley Drozel.
Just curious to see if they're going to call that on the floor or let her go to the line.
I think she did a very nice job, at least appearing to be in the act of shooting.
Everybody's lined up for free throws, but the refs standing out of bounds as if they're inbounding.
Yeah, they do call that on the floor. That's interesting. Ball goes to Drozel anyway. The 3 ball out of the corner is no good. Rebound is going to be secured by the Lady Mustangs. Somehow she was able to save it, but she can't pick it up.
Hey, refs, what are you doing?
She had been out of play. Ball goes to Swartfager. Swartfager working on Tepper. And she goes right inside for 2, and that's exactly what Taylor can do for these Lady Mustangs. She made that look very easy. In fact, 2 Lady Vikings accidentally screened each other to give Swartfager a lane.
That's a big possession. I'm sorry I'm not good with the names, but to have the IQ to not touch the ball after coming out of bounds.
Yes, that was Price.
And then score off of that play. That was huge for Laurel Highlands.
Ball goes here to Drozel. 3-point look on the way. Off the base of the rim, no good. Rebound tracked down by Haley Benko. Benko gets this to Swartfager. Swartfager will run point. Swartfager across the timeline, right on the Viking here at center court. Tepper going to be screened by Brooks. Swartfager give and go action off the wing. Cannot get that one to go off the glass for her, though, and now the ball is out of play. Will stay with the Lady Mustangs. Ball sent in from the baseline to Price, top of the key. 3 on the way. This one rolls around the rim and out. Rebound's going to go to Mount Pleasant. Cole across the timeline. Double teamed here. Gets a good looking pass to Arrigo, but Arrigo a bit hesitant to go one more to Traynor. Now the ball goes to Traynor anyway. Traynor trying to find Drozel down the baseline. Haven Harris will step out with her. Drozel looks at Tepper, now goes high post to Arrigo. Arrigo with the drive, middle peg, shot on the way and good. And Arrigo's got 5. Mount Pleasant leads 13-5. 3:55 to play Swartfager battling the double team now. Trying to get one down low. Ball taken away by Arrigo. Coming back the other way is Drazel. Full speed ahead. Moves the ball to Tepper. Swartfager takes it away. Now Taylor. 2-on-1 with Price. And she's going to work right around Arrigo and get it herself. And Swartfager has 4. And we're going to have a timeout, a 30-second timeout taken by Laurel Highlands. Great work there by Taylor Swartfager to make that happen. She got the steal herself. And she had Price in good position to help, but really did not even need to go to Price. Simply finished the play herself, and I suppose fair to say a good no foul there by Arrigo to hold her ground and put her hands up and force Swartfager to work around her. Let's talk about the standings coming into this game. Laurel Highlands, Mount Pleasant, and Ringgold all really right in the midst of a playoff spot. Class 4A Section 3, Bell Vernon out front, conference record 11-1. Elizabeth Ford 10-2, South Park 9-2. So those are your top 3. And then after that, Ringgold, Mount Pleasant, and Laurel Highlands 5-6, 5-6, 4-7.
This is the perfect matchup to cap off the week that we've had for high school hoops.
Yes, some great games, Carl. You had alluded to that earlier. Some really good games locally for us. And hopefully Laurel Highlands here. Great still to get started after that timeout. Hopefully they can close this gap just a bit more. Price going to be blocked here by Arrigo. Ball goes to Tepper. Tepper pushes one ahead to Cole, and Cole is checked by Brooks. And I think they probably will call this on Brooks, certainly. Blocking foul there. Laurel Highlands will want to be careful with 3:17 to play in the half. That is their 4th foul as a team in this quarter. First on Brooks as an individual. Cole keeps this one high, top of the key, goes to her right to Tepper. Drazel will rotate up. Receive the pass, goes to Cole. Inside quickly to Trainer. Now Arrigo high post, wants to go back to Drazel. Drazel can't get it to go, battling inside. This one will go. And Drazel has 7 points.
Mount Pleasant's so talented underneath, and the height difference is just, it's tough for Laurel Highlands because you just get plays like that. It's just impossible to stop.
Swartfager looking for Brooks there on the sideline, has the basketball get away. 15-7 your score. Grace Seaside will check in for Laurel Highlands. Drazel receives the pass, goes down the sideline. One more to Arrigo. Give and go here. Drazel, though, cannot finish. Loose basketball on the floor, going to be tied up between Tepper and Swartfager. 2:26 to play in the half.
That was a nice give and go.
Yes. Lady Vikings have tried that a few times. So have the Lady Mustangs, for that matter. Swartfager has wanted to create that look for herself a few times off the wing. This pass targeting Haven Harris. Ball is lost and taken by Cole. A collision at center court will allow Cole to drive through the lane and lay one in for 2. Those are her first points of the afternoon. And it's 17-7. Laurel Highlands in need of a strong 2 minutes here. Cole closing out Swartfager. Swartfager gets the ball to Harris. Then they wanted to go to Seaside on the far block. The ball is knocked away. We'll stay with the Lady Mustangs. Chloe Price will step out. Sorry, Carl.
We haven't really talked much about it, but you just got to wonder how much of difference that Taylor Irwin would make for this team if she were in this game right now.
Right. Taylor Irwin, a great player. We've seen her do some tremendous work here as Drazel is going to be not fouled, apparently. Lost her footing there. Haley Benko. No, they will call a foul. That's Benko's second. Drazel will shoot because that's the 5th foul of the quarter. But you're right, Carl. Taylor Irwin, great player. And certainly a really important piece of the last few seasons for this Laurel Highlands team and all the success the girls have had. First shot on the way from Drazel is good, 18-7. Drazel with 8 points, now 9. Taylor Swartfeger will receive the inbound pass with 1:35 to play. Tepper will be screened here by Benko to try to free Swartfeger. Taylor does break free and is body checked at the very end. Thankfully, Taylor is okay. The Mount Pleasant coach is not especially pleased with that particular call. Grace Arrigo will pick up her second. Taylor Swartfeger to the foul line. Swartfeger has 4 points. This is her first appearance at the foul line. She is the third Laurel Highlands Lady Mustangs in this game to shoot from the foul line today, the first two being Brooks and Price. First one from Taylor is just a bit hard and comes off the base of the rim. Second one on the way, and this one's perfect. Taylor Swartfeger 5 points now here in the first half. Tepper goes ahead to Drazel. Drazel on the near sideline, back up top to Cole. Tepper will move far wing, receives the pass there. Now up top again, Riley Drazel moves it to Cole. Drazel is going to pop to the far wing. I think they wanted to go that way, but the ball is taken away. This is Benko who comes up with the steal. Now she takes the jumper. No good, but what a nice effort inside there, Carl, by Chloe Price to get the second chance points.
Those second chance points are huge whenever you're on a possession like that. It's a fast break. Don't want to lose those opportunities.
Trainer has this ball tipped away. Taylor Swartfeger full steam ahead, lays this one in for 2, and Taylor now has 7 points. Laurel Highlands has got this back to a 7-point game, 19-12, with 35 seconds on the clock. Swartfeger nearly coming up with another steal. I think Taylor, and I don't have the rebounding or steal stats, but my goodness, Carl, she's got to be keeping one eye on a triple-double here because she's already got 7 points, quite a few rebounds, quite a few steals.
I wouldn't doubt it. She's been all over the floor.
Foul will be called against Taylor, though. That will send Arrigo to the foul line.
That's a tough one, too. You could see that she was upset about that. She definitely was hoping for a jump ball there.
Arrigo misses the first. She is now 1 of 3 from the foul line today. Swartfeger will trade in for a spot along the lane. She'll take the high slot on the far side. Second one for Arrigo is good, and Arrigo has 6 points. 33.9 seconds, 20-12 in favor of the Lady Vikings. Keep in mind this game very low scoring, especially in the first quarter. Just 6-3 at the end of quarter one. So the second quarter has seen some more action offensively from both teams. Swartfeger will drive the lane, has the ball knocked away by Trainer, but it's recovered by the Lady Mustangs. A little shot here by Price is no good, and coming out with it is Drazel. Drazel tracked down by a few Lady Mustangs. Swartfeger and Brooks were there. Now Tepper for 3. This one's no good. Swartfeger gets the rebound, and that's going to do it for your first half here at Mount Pleasant Area High School, 20-12. So by way of comparison, that first quarter, just 6-3. Mount Pleasant good for 14 in the second quarter. Laurel Highlands good for 9 in the same frame. Both teams now will move off to the locker room. We'd like to share with you about our sponsors. Certainly thank you to these sponsors. We would not be able to make this broadcast possible for you without their support. Smith Lewis Chess CPAs in Uniontown, Davis & Davis Attorneys at Law, the Sprouse Insurance Group and Agent David Hughes, SWGI Specialists, now a part of U.S. Digestive Health, the UPMC Rehabilitation Institute, and physical therapist Jim Burns, United Bank, Laurel Highlands Girls Basketball Boosters, and the South Union Township Supervisors, Bob Schiffbauer, Rick Vernon, and Jason Scott. If you're watching this game on BreezeLine or Armstrong Cable, we'd like to let you know that South Union Township Sports Network games and programs are now available live. It's easy to find. Just log on to youtube.com and search South Union Television to find the archived broadcasts, or follow the South Union Township Sports Network on Facebook for live games. Facebook.com/South Union TV. 20-12 is your score. Looking at the scoring on the Laurel Highlands side, Taylor Swartfeger leads her team right now with 7 points. 4 points for Chloe Price and 1 for Madison Brooks. On the Mount Pleasant side, leading scorer for the Lady Vikings, Riley Drozel. Certainly the last time these two teams met, she also did very, very well, and she's off to a good start here today. She has 9. Grace Arrigo has 6 points, 2 points for Kendra Brunson, 2 points for Addison Cole, 1 point for Lexi Baker. We'll take a short break here on the South Union Township Sports Network. When we come back, we'll have your third quarter here for you in just about 8 minutes.
At what point did everything change? When did service get taken out of service industries? It's too bad, because people are busy these days. At life, at work, at play. When it comes to your hard-earned money, you want service. Real service. From a person you know and a face you trust. At a bank where changing with the times doesn't mean leaving people behind. We're proud to be a part of your community. We're United Bank, at your service.
Hello, this is Jeremy Davis from the law firm of Davis & Davis. We have been helping the great people of Fayette County for over 45 years with personal injury claims. If you are hurt or injured, call our law firm today for your free consultation. Remember, the insurance companies are not on your side. We will personally come out and meet with you. Call us at 724-437-2799. We have helped people like you recover millions of dollars. You will not pay anything until we win your case. We will fight for you.
The UPMC Rehabilitation Institute on Wayland Smith Drive offers cutting-edge physical therapy. Jim Burns and his staff are residents of the community, treating sports injuries, neurological conditions, back pain, sprains and strains, joint replacements, hand injuries, and other conditions. They treat you efficiently and safely by taking all necessary precautions while disinfecting the clinic regularly. All insurance accepted. Experienced therapists. Convenient location and hours. Part of the community. Call the office with a prescription from your doctor or schedule by direct access 724-437-7500.
This is Dr. Alyssa Lorenz of U.S. Digestive Health in Uniontown, Pennsylvania. Common issues like difficulty with swallowing, frequent heartburn, recurrent abdominal pain, bowel habit problems, and rectal bleeding are often easily diagnosed and treated. Dr. Calabrese Stokes, Hoppy, and I are local gastroenterologists that are here to help. For more information, call our Uniontown office at 724-437-7677.
Some things just go together, like bread and butter, blue jeans and Saturdays, best friends and phone calls. And a great match? You and discounts from Erie Insurance. It's like this. Safety features in your car will have you paying less for your auto insurance. And pay off your Erie auto policy all at once, and you'll save up to 7% more. On your homeowner's policy, you earn discounts that start at age 46 and go up each time you celebrate a birthday. There are more discounts, too, for things like home safety features and even teenage drivers. And the savings keep adding up. When you have your auto and home covered with Erie, you get a discount. Buy a life policy with us, and the savings can get even better. At Erie Insurance, above all in service means making life a little easier on you and on your wallet. Your Erie agent is waiting for you. Your local Erie agent is Sprowell's Insurance Group, 724-437-9812, or go to sprowellsinsurance.com.
Discount terms and amounts may vary by state. See your local Erie agent for details.
This is attorney Michael Mays of the Davis & Davis Law Firm. We have been helping injured people just like you recover millions of dollars for over 45 years. If you're hurt or injured, I want to meet you and make sure you get the money that you deserve. Call me at 724-437-2799 for your free consultation. The Davis & Davis Law Firm has been protecting our neighbors in Greene and Fayette counties for over 45 years. Go to davisanddavislaw.com or call 724-437-2799 for your free consultation.
Bad hair day? Bad day at the office? Bad day behind the wheel? Hey, stuff happens, even to the best of us. At least your car insurance rate doesn't have to take a hit. Get Erie Rate Lock from Erie Insurance. Gives you a great rate that stays put until you change a car, driver, or your address. Plus, seriously good service. Now that's something to smile about.
Your Erie agent in Uniontown and Ross Traver Township is Sprowell's Insurance Group, 724-437-9812, or go to sprowellsinsurance.com.
Erie Rate Lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage and is not available in all states.
Smith Lewis Chess CPAs in Uniontown is a proud supporter of youth sports. Smith Lewis Chess was established in November of 1988 with offices in Uniontown and Indiana, PA. Their firm was established with professionals capable of providing a diversified range of services with a commitment to quality control and at the same time providing opportunities for their employees to experience interesting and rewarding careers. Contact Smith Lewis Chess CPAs in Uniontown today. They are located at 670 Cherry Tree Lane in Uniontown. Phone 724-438-7088. That's 724-438-7088 for Smith Lewis Chess CPAs in Uniontown.
Welcome back to Mount Pleasant Area High School. We have about 3.5 minutes before play resumes between the Lady Vikings and the Lady Mustangs. We'll take another opportunity now to look at Class 4A Section 3. Bell Vernon again, first place, 11-1. Elizabeth Forward, 10-2. South Park, 9-2. And then Ringgold, Mount Pleasant, and Laurel Highlands, all right in the midst of this section. Ringgold, 5-6. Mount Pleasant, 5-6. Laurel Highlands, 4-7. And then, of course, Yock and Southmoreland bringing up the rear of the section. As we look to upcoming matchups, we have talked about Laurel Highlands' upcoming matchups. Ringgold on Monday night, and then Yock. That's also senior night. Yock, 7 o'clock Thursday evening. Those are the final two games for the Lady Mustangs.
078.
Looking at the Mount Pleasant Lady Vikings remaining schedule, they will play Monday evening against Bell Vernon. Again, Bell Vernon is in first place, so let's assume Bell Vernon will win that contest. And then Mount Pleasant has to play Ringgold on Thursday, meaning one of those two teams that Laurel Highlands wants to surpass will have to take a loss. There's a good chance, even if Mount Pleasant wins this game today, that they will more than likely suffer 2 losses next week. Ringgold, obviously a competitive team, and certainly that Bell Vernon team very, very good this season. If we look at Ringgold's remaining games, they will play Laurel Highlands Monday, South Park on Tuesday, and then, of course, this Mount Pleasant team, and they will come to Mount Pleasant next Thursday. Laurel Highlands really with a great opportunity here, especially if they are able to rally and come back to win this game and then find a way to beat Ringgold on Monday. And you would certainly think the game against Yock on Thursday is very winnable. Laurel Highlands has beaten Yock once already this season. Coming into this contest, speaking of recent activity, Laurel Highlands did lose to Bell Vernon 60-37. That was on Thursday of this week. Prior to that, Laurel Highlands had beaten Southmoreland 50-24. They did lose an out-of-conference game against University from Morgantown on January 20th. And they had lost to Elizabeth Ford back on January 19th. So again, Elizabeth Ford right now in second place, and that Elizabeth Ford team has been good for years. So no surprise to see them near the top, trailing only Bell Vernon in this section. We're ready now for your third quarter of play. Joshua Scully and Carl Childs here with you this afternoon. Quick first half. Halftime is concluded, and we did not start right at 12. We started a few minutes after 12 p.m. And right now, local time, 12:53 p.m. So we've got the entire first half and halftime in nearly 40 minutes. So quick moving game, especially that first quarter, very quick moving. Mount Pleasant will now work left to right. Laurel Highlands right to left. Laurel Highlands in their red uniform, Mount Pleasant in their home white. So Arrigo goes out to Tepper. Tepper jump shot. This one goes off the rim, off the glass, and in. Tepper's first points of the game. 22-12. Taylor Swartfager going to drive through. Arrigo got a piece of that, actually, but it did not matter, and Swartfager drops in a basket, and she now has 9 points. And Taylor is going to nearly come away with the basketball here. Her and Cole twisting and turning onto the floor, and I hope Cole's okay.
Looks like she's just a little shaken up, walking it off. curious if Laurel Highlands can close this gap, because from the games that we've done together, it looks like they're a second-half team, in my opinion.
Carl, all the participants of the halftime activity, they had a youth halftime event here as Cole able to come up with the basketball. They had a youth halftime event for their girls basketball program. And now all the girls basketball players from that youth program, Carl, are up here sitting behind us, and they all have managed to find pizza. But no pizza for us.
We have to wait till after the game.
Arrigo will step out on the baseline. She'll send this in. Long pass out to Tepper. Now to Cole on the wing. Double team coming. Cole finds a way through to Trainer, and Trainer's going to be fouled on the drive. It looked like Abby Grady may have got a piece of Trainer as she passed across the near block. And Trainer will go to the foul line. Opportunity here for Trainer to score for the first time today.
It's hard to believe, because I was just getting ready to say, Trainer's a great athlete. It'd be very difficult to keep her out of the paint. We expect her to go to the line a little bit more.
Absolutely. I think Trainer and Arrigo, really good tandem inside, and Drazel brings some height as well. Laurel Rummel checking in for Cole. Shot on the way, Trainer no good. Rebound is not able to be saved by Harris. Will go to the Lady Vikings. With Cole out of the game, this could be an opportunity for Swartfager to hone in on whoever is going to handle the basketball for this Lady Viking team. Pass goes to Drazel. Drazel 3 out of the corner. No good on the shot, and the rebound is going to be secured by Brooks, but then we get a jump ball call. Brooks did a good job finding that ball.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that Swartzfarger, this will be a good time for her to try to take the game over a little bit and get some points on the board.
Tepper with Swartzfager now. They're going to move the ball to the wing to Brooks. Brooks thought about going to Grady up top. Ultimately, the ball goes to Price. Price on the drive. Back to Brooks in the corner. Jump shot on the way. No good on the shot. Rebound comes out to Rummel. Rummel will hand it off to Drazel, and Swartfager is going to drift that way and cut off Drazel high. Basketball to high post, gets through to Trainer. Quick one to Arrigo to Rummel, and Rummel's going to be fouled by Price. And Rummel will go to the foul line to shoot. So far, 2 points each way here in the new half. First one for Rummel, no good. Tepper with her first 2 points in this half. Swartfager with the basket for Laurel Highlands, 22-14. Score was just 6-3 at the end of the first quarter. Shot on the way here and good. Number 21, Rummel, connects on 1 of 2. And we've got a 9-point ball game. Swartfager across the timeline will go left. Gets cut off in high post. Moves the ball to Grady. Grady wanted to go high to Brooks. Rummel nearly takes it away. A loose ball goes to Price. Price on the near sideline. Drives baseline. Looking high post now. Harris moves it out far wing to Brooks. Brooks on the drive. Pop out pass here to Grady. Grady jump shot. No good. Brooks going to pull down the rebound, and she's tied up inside. Apparently, Rummel had a hand or two on the basketball. Laurel Highlands offering some pressure. Addison Cole, the normal point guard for this Lady Vikings team, out of the game. Trainer collides with Swartfager, loses the basketball. This one will go to Laurel Highlands off of Trainer's leg. And I do think, Carl, as long as Cole remains out, this could be the ticket for Laurel Highlands to recover some of the points they've surrendered to the Lady Vikings.
I agree. I also think it's big that they've been doing the press, because the press seems to have been working for them for the longevity of the game.
Nice fake there by Brooks. Going to drive through, hard off the glass, no good. Price gets the rebound. We'll swing it out to Swartfager. 3 on the way for Taylor, no good. Rebound is going to be secured this time by Trainer. Ball moved far sideline to Rummel. Swartfager and Grady close in. Pass goes to the corner to Tepper. Tepper wants to go inside to Trainer. Trainer off the glass, no good on the shot, gets her own rebound. Second chance, no good. And now Tepper is going to be fouled as she launched a shot toward the basket. And the foul is going to be called against Brooks. That's her second and the third of the quarter against Laurel Highlands. Tepper scored her first basket of this contest earlier this quarter. First foul shot here is no good. The 3 points of this half for the Lady Vikings coming from Tepper and Rummel. Tepper's going to add one more. She now has 3. And the Lady Vikings lead by an even 10, 24-14. Thank you for checking us out, as always, on the South Union Township Sports Network. We will have Thursday night's game for you. The Yock Lady Cougars coming to Uniontown for senior night. Haven Harris for 3, no good. Rebound seemingly secured there by Price for a moment, and then taken away by Arrigo. Swartfager closing in on Drosel here. Ball goes to Rummel, double team. Rummel's able to escape, then loses control of the ball. Saved here by Tepper, short corner. Ball goes to Trainer, and now a timeout taken by Scott Hillen as Cole is about to check back in, and it looks like we're going to see Christina Spallone as well. We'll take a short break here on the South Union Township Sports Network. We'll be right back.
At what point did everything change? When did service get taken out of service industries? It's too bad, because people are busy these days. At life, at work, at play. When it comes to your hard-earned money, you want service. Real service. From a person you know and a face you trust. At a bank where changing with the times doesn't mean leaving people behind. We're proud to be a part of your community. We're United Bank, at your service.
Welcome back to Mount Pleasant Area High School. The Lady Vikings to send this in from the baseline. Arrigo looking for a target, thought about Trainer, ultimately moved the ball to Spallone. Spallone pulls it out, top of the key. Haven Harris there with her. Ball will be moved far wing to Arrigo now. An inside look taken away by Chloe Price. Lady Mustangs have not struggled to generate turnovers here today. Swartfager has a 3 off the mark. Ball will roll away from everybody. And this one's going to go to Mount Pleasant. Right now, Laurel Highlands just looking to cash in on some of these turnovers and convert them into points. Good defense here by Price, knocking the ball away from Cole. Good to see Cole back in the basketball game. Ball sent in, Arrigo stops on the far wing, gets it back to Cole. Addison Cole so far today 2 points, but she does a good job of directing this Lady Vikings offense. Ball handed off here to Drosel. Swartfager trying to reach around and get the basketball, and she'll be called with the foul here. That'll be the 4th foul of the quarter on Laurel Highlands, and that is Swartfager's 2nd. Ball moved in. Spallone gets cut off near the short corner here. She'll circle back around to high post, moves the ball to Cole. Swartfager staying with Drosel on the far side of the court. Cole not going to go that way. Moves it to her right, finds Spallone under the basket. Loose basketball will go off Spallone's body and will be awarded to Laurel Highlands.
It was such a nice pass, I don't even think Spallone knew it was coming.
I don't think she did either, but it was a good pass. Through traffic, too. Very well timed. Swartfager will direct traffic, moves the ball to Harris. Now high post to Brooks. Brooks triple covered there. Ball swung to Price, no good on the shot. Rebound secured by Brooks. Brooks is tied up inside. And a foul will be called actually here against Cole. No, they'll go Drosel on the foul call. That's just her first and the first of the quarter for the Lady Vikings.
Lady Vikings defense has been so stellar in the paint that they're starting to force Laurel Highlands to shoot more threes. It just hasn't been falling for them.
Drive off the wing. Brooks will be called with a travel before she can let go of the shot. Laurel Highlands will continue to offer pressure. They will need to do so carefully considering the foul situation. Ball goes to Drosel first, then back to Trainer. Near sideline to Arrigo. Lady Vikings will get the timeline as the ball goes back to Trainer. Brooks nearly able to take the ball away, and Swartfager also very close to jumping that pass. She's with Cole. Cole, little move here to try to find some space, but she'll travel in the process. Basketball will go back to Laurel Highlands with 3:12 to play here in the third quarter. Taylor Swartfager will bring the ball over the timeline. Moves far wing. Now up top to Harris. Harris for three. Shot on the way off the front of the rim. No good. Rebound's going to go to Spallone. And Spallone's able to outlet the ball to Cole. Swartfager going to first. Cole to her left. Screen coming here by Drazel. That's a moving screen. And I think, Carl, that's a good call. Drazel was very close to getting her feet set at the last moment. She took one more step just as she collided with Swartfager. And Drazel now has two. Laurel Highlands still looking for some offense. Just 2 points so far this quarter. They scored only 3 points in the first quarter. The good news is Mount Pleasant has only got 4 points this quarter, so a relatively low-scoring half. Double dribble called on Swartfager here as she tries to beat Tepper. Swartfager arguing that Tepper had reached in and contacted the basketball.
Yeah, it's a tough call there. I'm not a fan of refs being in situations where they're dictating what's happening in the game in situations like that.
And definitely a game where we've got quite a bit on the line here for both teams. Drazel able to get a shot off inside. No good off the glass. Brooks is then tripped, and it's going to be called on Drazel. So Drazel went from having no fouls just a moment ago to having 3 fouls. Cole will check in. Drazel will check out. Right now on the floor for the Lady Vikings, Rummel, Cole, Tepper, Arrigo, and Spallone. For the Lady Mustangs, it's Swartfager, Price, Brooks, Harris, and Williams. Swartfager, nice crossover move here to beat Tepper. Pulls up for the high post jumper. Shot on the way, no good. Rebound pulled out by Spallone. Spallone going to take the near sideline, right lane, all the way to the basket, up off the glass. No good on the shot. Rebound here pulled down by Price. Good defensive rebound for Laurel Highlands. Now Brooks charging across the timeline. Back to Price to Taylor Swartfager. Pulls down the shot to Harris. Swartfager thought about splitting Rummel and Tepper here, then decided against it. And now she is going to be fouled by Tepper. And I hope Taylor's okay. She took an awkward fall there, Carl, but she popped right back up.
That was an awkward fall. I actually felt like that one time whenever I was in high school and I tore my ACL.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes, it was terrible.
As long as you don't fall, Carl, when you're carrying the equipment.
I was playing baseball, actually. I got my foot stuck in a base.
Here's Williams off, and she's going to travel before she can get the pass to Swartfager. Both teams now have 4 fouls this quarter. 1:40 to play. Timeout will be taken by Laurel Highlands, a 30-second timeout. We'll take a short break, too, on the South Union Township Sports Network.
The UPMC Rehabilitation Institute on Wayland Smith Drive offers cutting-edge physical therapy. Jim Burns and his staff are residents of the community, treating sports injuries, neurological conditions, back pain, sprains and strains, joint replacements, hand injuries, and other conditions. They treat you efficiently and safely by taking all necessary precautions while disinfecting the clinic regularly. All insurance accepted. Experienced therapists, convenient location and hours, part of the community. Call the office with a prescription from your doctor or schedule by direct access 724-437-7500.
Welcome back to the South Union Township Sports Network. Carl, how about this? On this date, January 31st, if you roll the clock back to the middle of the 20th century, today was the debut of the first ever televised soap opera. 1949, These Are My Children was the name of that soap opera.
Was that in black and white with no audio or no?
I'm going to guess black and white. Certainly 1949. I think black and white television, probably some old-fashioned audio.
Yeah, probably at a time when they had audio. I imagine if you're having a soap opera, you're going to have audio.
It was a 15-minute soap opera.
Could you imagine?
Probably not many commercial breaks as the Lady Vikings get the ball to Arrigo. Move this one ahead, and now Swartfager jumps the pass and is right at the baseline here. Ball is apparently out of bounds off of Swartfager's body, and she's going to be helped back to her feet by Price. Lexi Baker in the game for the Lady Vikings now.
Scully, could you imagine if we went back in time and showed them that we were doing high school sports in full color and audio?
Right, I'm sure it would have been incredible to see. Color television would have been about a decade later, and I'm sure people really appreciated that. Although I think black and white TV, there's a certain character to black and white television that I think has been lost when you think about some of those old television shows. Swartfager misses here, rebound pulled down by Arrigo. The Twilight Zone, Alfred Hitchcock Presents. Those shows almost seem to need black and white to work the way they did to create that mood. Basketball will stay here with the Lady Vikings.
One could argue that acting was a lot more important at that point in time, too.
True, yeah.
I was wondering if you were going to hit us with some history to see.
Oh, I've got some, Carl. Trust me. This shot is a wild one off the mark. Rebound's going to be pulled down by Arrigo. And Swartfager jumps the pass out for Cole. Swartfager should be able to walk this one in off the glass for 2. And Taylor now has 11 points.
I've been waiting for that. I have been waiting for that.
Ball's going to go to Traynor here with 29 seconds to go. Laurel Highlands has got this back to 8 points, 24-16. Brooks nearly able to get the steal. Traynor, though, sneaks through and is able to drop in a basket. Those are her first points of the game. Good-looking shot there for her. Swartfager across the timeline. Screen coming from Price. Good help defense here, though, for the Lady Vikings. Swartfager not able to come free. And now she's going to collide here at the end of the play with Arrigo and lose the basketball, and that's going to do it for quarter number 3. 26-16. 6 points in that quarter for Mount Pleasant, 4 points for Laurel Highlands. We'll take a break here on the South Union Township Sports Network. We'll be right back in just a moment.
Some things just go together, like bread and butter, blue jeans and Saturdays, best friends and phone calls. And a great match? You and discounts from Erie Insurance. It's like this. Safety features in your car will have you paying less for your auto insurance. And pay off your Erie Auto policy all at once, and you'll save up to 7% more. On your homeowner's policy, you earn discounts that start at age 46 and go up each time you celebrate a birthday. There are more discounts, too, for things like home safety features and even teenage drivers. And the savings keep adding up. When you have your auto and home covered with Erie, you get a discount. Buy a life policy with us, and the savings can get even better. At Erie Insurance, above all in service means making life a little easier on you and on your wallet. Your Erie agent is waiting for you. Your local Erie agent is Sprowell's Insurance Group, 724-437-9812, or go to sprowellsinsurance.com.
Discount terms and amounts may vary by state. See your local Erie agent for details.
Welcome back to Mount Pleasant Area High School. Joshua Scully and Carl Childs here with you this afternoon. 8 minutes to play in this game. Laurel Highlands trails by 10, 26-16. The Lady Mustangs looking for some offense. They go to Brooks. Brooks with a jump shot off the mark. Rebound going to be secured here by Rummel. Rummel weaving through traffic, able to maintain her dribble. Finds Drozel ahead. Drozel will collide with Price, and now Drozel will be going to the foul line. Drozel with 11 points in this game. Check that, 9 points. A chance for her 10th and 11th points.
Doing some fortune telling.
Yes, an opportunity here. Drozel really, really good when the Lady Vikings came to Uniontown a few weeks ago. Really took the game over in the second half. First foul shot here is no good. Rummel will move in along the lane. Opposite her for the Lady Vikings is Traynor. Second one on the way and good for Drozel, who now has 10 points. Swartfager moves the ball away from us, far wing. That was Paschke to Brooks, now back to Paschke. She goes corner to Swartfager. Swartfager directing traffic from the far sideline. I think she was looking for a cut. Moves the ball across the court. Receiving the pass here, Madison Morosco. Basketball knocked out of play, but will stay with Laurel Highlands.
Laurel Highlands got to do a better job of getting those passes out quicker because they're a little bit hesitant, and that split second that they're hesitating is taking away those opportunities for them.
7:05 to play, an 11-point game. Brooks to Morosco. Now far wing to Price. Price gets one to Swartfager. Drazel waiting for Tepper to step over and pick up Taylor. Tepper never fully stepped over. Now the rebound is going to be tied up between Swartfager, Price, and Tepper. Stepping out will be Trainer on the baseline. Pass moved into Tepper. Tepper a quick one ahead. She finds Baker on the near sideline. Baker blocked here by Swartfager. Ball goes out of play. Will stay with the Lady Vikings. Ball on the baseline. Trainer trying to find Tepper here in the middle. Tepper flips it out to Rummel. Rummel lets go of a wild shot. This one nearly goes down. Bounces away at the last moment. Swartfager with the rebound. Across the timeline, she'll go far wing to Swartfager. And look at this shot. On the way and good for Laurel Highlands. Isabella Paschke for three. Huge shot here. Maybe that'll get something going for the Lady Mustangs, who have it back to 8 points. Both teams, too, holding on to a handful of timeouts. So opportunities for both teams to make adjustments as this quarter plays out. And Carl, a successful possession here will make this game the closest it's been in a long time. Laurel Highlands has gotten this to 8 a few times, but have never been able to take the next step, at least not recently. And a golden opportunity to do that here. Paschke looking for a target, finds Price. Price going to go to work here on Drazel. Wanted to get a pass through to Brooks. Ball goes off a leg. Tepper seizes it, goes to Rummel. Rummel nearly losing control of the basketball. Will find Drazel. This is going to be an easy one. Drazel goes up and gets it to drop through. And Drazel's got 12. 29-19. Back to 10 points with 6. Check that. 5:30 to play. Brooks for three. This one looks good, but it skips off the glass and away. Shot looked really good from our perspective. Ball outletted to Drazel. She goes ahead to Tepper. Tepper in the lane to Cole. Cole goes up off the glass and gets 2. And a timeout going to be taken here, a full timeout taken by Laurel Highlands.
Nice ball movement by the Vikings. It's a tough team. They have a very complete starting roster.
They do. They do. They have really everything you could want in terms of a nice combination of some size and speed, some good skill players. And we'll see how they're able to navigate the last 5 minutes and 14 seconds. Laurel Highlands trailing now by 12, 31-19. This game was 6-3 after one quarter, 20-12 at halftime, 26-16 at the end of the third frame. Carl, you had mentioned about some history on this day. How about this one for you? Back on this date in 1865, the United States Congress passed the 13th Amendment, abolishing slavery, and it was then submitted to the states for ratification. So that was a monumental day in American history. And also, of course, tomorrow begins the month of February. That's Black History Month. Today, in 1988, Doug Williams became the first African-American quarterback to play in a Super Bowl. He was the quarterback for the Washington Redskins, and they really beat up on the Denver Broncos that day, 42-10. Swartfager approaching the timeline. Tepper waiting for her there. Ball comes first to Price. Now back up top to Swartfager. Price going to move it toward us to Harris. No good on the shot there. Rebound going to be taken by the Lady Vikings. The Lady Mustangs really need a couple of these threes to drop down for them to close this gap. Swartfager able to take the ball away. Now she needs a target. Long pass here, gets through to Price. Paschke did knock down a three for the Lady Mustangs just a moment ago. That's the only made three for Laurel Highlands today. Here's another one, though, on the way. And that was Paschke again.
She got a hot hand.
And a whistle here on the far sideline. 31-22. Well, I would keep giving it to Paschke at this point. Why not?
I think they ought to have Swartzfeger and Chloe Price work together and try to get some open shots to Paschke.
Ball moved to Cole right in front of the score table. Cole gets a nice move here on the sideline. Floater on the way, no good. Rebound to Trainer. Ball tipped away this time. Trainer's shot was no good. Arrigo gets the rebound, but then she passes it right to Paschke. Paschke weaving through traffic across the timeline. Paschke has got a quick 6 points here. 31-22. Laurel Highlands now down by 9. Pass goes up top to Haven Harris. Our way to Swartzfeger. Swartzfeger on the drive, gets cut off near block. Back up top. 3-point shot on the way. This one is out of play from Milsom. I don't believe it was touched, and the ball will go back to the Lady Vikings. Brooks will check in for Milsom. And I hope Milsom is okay. She's going to get some help here from head coach Rick Hill, who scoops her up and carries her off the court. Thank you again for checking us out on the South Union Township Sports Network, live from Mount Pleasant Area High School, Mount Pleasant, Pennsylvania. Pass is tipped here, but it still gets through to Cole. And now the ball is lost to the sideline. This one will stay with the Lady Vikings, though. Mount Pleasant, the name Mount Pleasant, is believed to be the most common place name in the United States. There are more Mount Pleasants across the nation than there are anything else, as Arrigo throws an elbow here to Swartzfeger. Ball is going to go to Laurel Highlands. 31-22. Of course, there's quite a few Union towns across the United States as well, but there is a tremendous number of Mount Pleasants. Swartzfeger will make her move, goes left, gets cut off here. Ball goes to Harris, now to Brooks. They're going to load up Paschke, why not? 3-ball on the way, this one off the base of the rim, no good. And the rebound's taken by Trainer with 3:22 to play. Ball goes away from us to Cole. Cole gets the timeline. Swartzfeger right there with her. Collides with Drazel, who set the screen. Mount Pleasant does not need to be in a hurry. Trainer inside is going to be blocked here by Haven Harris, but the ball then rolls out of play and will go to the Lady Vikings. 3:06 to play. Drazel off the cut, gets the pass, near block. Dribbles this one out. Goes to Tepper up top. Again, Mount Pleasant does not need to be in a hurry. Looking to run some time off the clock. Cole with the basketball now to Drazel on the far wing. Drazel on the drive. Kind of lost control of the basketball there on the shot. Trainer, though, gets 2 offensive rebounds back-to-back and gets the second attempt to turn into points. And now Trainer's got 4 points. 3-point shot here from Haven Harris on the way, and the rebound is going to be secured by Trainer, and they're going to get Paschke with a foul call.
Lady Vikings are just so tough underneath.
And they have been today, too. They've really capitalized on their size, especially, I would say, quarter 2 onward. Cole looking for a target, gets one through to Trainer, now ahead to Arrigo. One more to Drazel. Drazel draws some contact, floats up a shot, no good on the shot. But Riley Drazel, who's got 12 points right now, will go back to the foul line. This will be her 4th appearance at the foul line today. .2:16 to play. Shot on the way from Drazel, off the front of the rim and good. Drazel leading all scorers. She has 13. Taylor Swartzfeger for Laurel Highlands with 11. And now Drazel has 14, and it's a 13-point game, 35-22. Full timeout. We'll take a break, too, on the South Union Township Sports Network.
Smith Lewis Chess CPAs in Uniontown is a proud supporter of youth sports. Smith Lewis Chess was established in November of 1988 with offices in Uniontown and Indiana, PA. Their firm was established with professionals capable of providing a diversified range of services with a commitment to quality control and at the same time providing opportunities for their employees to experience interesting and rewarding careers. Contact Smith Lewis Chess CPAs in Uniontown today. They are located at 670 Cherry Tree Lane in Uniontown. Phone 724-438-7088. That's 724-438-7088 for Smith Lewis Chess CPAs in Uniontown.
Welcome back to Mount Pleasant Area High School. 2:16 to play. We're coming off a full timeout. If you're joining us from Uniontown, I wish I had better news for you. It's 35-22, and Laurel Highlands has 4 fouls against them this quarter, which means any forthcoming foul is going to send Mount Pleasant to the foul line. In some sense, at this point, that could be a silver lining. But considering that Laurel Highlands is down by 13 and they almost certainly will need to show some real pressure, probably not the best news. Here's Paschke, top of the key with Tepper right behind her. She goes to Swartfager. Swartfager splits defenders, sends a little jump shot on the way, no good. Harris gets a rebound, and we're going to have a whistle here as Harris and Trainer had both been pursuing the basketball. Foul is going to be called against Trainer. That is the first foul called against the Lady Vikings this quarter. Harris looking for a target, gets one to Price. Now up top to Swartfager. Swartfager off the screen from Brooks, sends a 3 on the way, but this one off the rim, off the glass, and no good. Rebound goes to Arrigo. Cole loses the basketball here, seemingly off her leg, but they will award the ball to the Lady Vikings. Apparently Swartfager had a hand in. Trainer looking for a target, will find Arrigo. And Arrigo working away from us. Goes to Cole. 1:37 to play. Swartfager trying desperately to come up with the basketball. And they're going to call 5 seconds here and give the ball to Laurel Highlands. Boy, that really speaks to Swartfager's ability to move. Cole's pretty quick, and Swartfager just gave her nowhere to go. Ball on the far wing. Paschke, who's got 6 points. All coming from outside the arc. We'll go to Swartfager. This is a long 2 on the way and good. And with that made basket, Swartfager now with 13 points for herself. And a timeout taken with 1:17 to play. 35-24. Well, Carl, we certainly won't call it impossible, but Laurel Highlands will need quite a few more shots like that one to close the gap. Still 1:17 left, but otherwise a good effort here from the Mount Pleasant Lady Vikings today. They played a good all-around game, and Laurel Highlands, especially early, very strong defensively, just not quite able to convert some of the turnovers they generated into points.
Yeah, it's tough for Laurel Highlands, but they knew coming into this game that Mount Pleasant was going to be tough. Some of the matchups are pretty big mismatches with the size that Mount Pleasant has and the talent that they have available to them. As much as Laurel Highlands has lost since last year, and then Irwin and some of the girls graduating, it's just pretty tough for Laurel Highlands, but they hung in there and they gave it a shot. This game's not quite over, but a bit of a long shot. See what they give us for this last minute and 17.
Ball goes to Cole. Cole on the sideline. Brooks trying to reach in and take the basketball away. Now they're tied up, and we had a timeout taken by Coach Hillen, I believe. 30-second timeout will be taken here by the Mount Pleasant Lady Vikings. And I think Coach Rick Hill for Laurel Highlands did not believe that Mount Pleasant had possession in order to take the timeout.
It almost looked like that might have been a jump ball.
So right now, Mount Pleasant, really more than anything else, just looking to run the last 1 minute and 11 seconds off the clock. Of course, Laurel Highlands very quick of foot, especially with the 5 they have on the floor right now. And they'll look to take the basketball away. Riley Drazel will move to her right. Now back to her left. And a quick little pass here goes to Trainer on the wing. Now Tepper will rotate up, take the basketball. Paschke nearly able to reach in and get it, but Tepper avoids that. Works her way to the quarter. And now is going to have a pass go to Trainer and a loose basketball. Now they're going to call a jump ball. Swartfager nearly had a steal in there too.
Refs are letting them play a little bit, Josh.
Yeah, I would say so, especially in that sequence.
I'm a fan. I like when games go that way as long as there's no real physical contact.
Swartfager will tie up Drazel. Ooh.
Like that. I think the refs have been doing a good job of keeping things from getting out of hand, though.
I'm not sure that the officials all agree on what should be happening. Now they're going to send Riley Drazel to the foul line. Drazel and Swartfager had collided, and at the very end of that, Drazel pushed Swartfager away. First foul shot on the way, no good. Drazel 14 points today. This is her 5th trip to the foul line.
I think that says a lot about Swartfager, like with Mount Pleasant being up 10, just how pesky she was to them, you know, for them to be getting flustered with her at this point in
Yes,
the game.
I agree. Here's Haven Harris for 3. She rattles one down. Those are her first points today. And a quick timeout will be taken by Laurel Highlands with 38.7 seconds on the clock. We'll take a timeout too on the South Union Township Sports Network. We'll be right back in 1 minute.
This is attorney Michael Mays of the Davis & Davis Law Firm. We have been helping injured people just like you recover millions of dollars for over 45 years. If you're hurt or injured, I want to meet you and make sure you get the money that you deserve. Call me at 724-437-2799 for your free consultation. The Davis & Davis Law Firm has been protecting our neighbors in Greene and Fayette counties for over 45 years. Go to davisanddavislaw.com or call 724-437-2799 for your free consultation.
Welcome back to Mount Pleasant Area High School, where the Lady Vikings right now are just looking to run off the final 31 seconds. Swartfager will pick up her 4th foul of the game, nearly able to get the ball away from Trainer. But this will send Trainer to the foul line. Danica Traylor today, 0 for 2 from the foul line so far. She's got 4 points. All of those coming in the second half. First one on the way for Trainer, off the base of the rim, and no good. Score remains 36-27. Don't forget, the South Union Township Sports Network will have for you Thursday evening Laurel Highlands and Yock. Final game of the season for the girls basketball team at Laurel Highlands. That will also be their senior night. Second shot for Trainer is no good. Rebound secured by Chloe Price. Price across the timeline. Gets it to Brooks on the wing. Now up top to Morosco. And a made 3 here from Benko. Morosco flipped it over to Haley Benko, and those are Benko's first points. And Carl, we're finally back to 6 points. Laurel Highlands has been working and working. They would get it to 8. This foul going to be called against Brooks.
The shots sure are seeming to fall for them late in the 4th quarter. It was like there was a lid on it earlier in the game.
Yeah, Laurel Highlands scored 16 points through the first 3 quarters. They've scored 14 in this quarter alone. Trainer back at the foul line. This one no good. Trainer 0 of 5 so far from the foul line today. Looking to pick one up here. This could be a big one too. It would make it 7. No good on the shot. Rebound tipped out of play by Drazel. So with 12 seconds to go, Laurel Highlands is down 2 possessions. Swartfager will check back in the game. Morosco will check out. Ball sent into Swartfeger. Laurel Highlands charging across the timeline. Taylor to a wide open Brooks. I believe that was partially blocked. Check, that was Paschke. No, that was Brooks. My apologies. That was definitely Brooks. Ball had landed out of play off a Lady Viking hand, but with just 2.9 seconds left, not quite enough time for Laurel Highlands to complete the comeback. Final shot going to be taken by Price. Price has that one blocked, and that'll do it. 36-30. Your final score. Let's take a look at the numbers here on the South Union Township Sports Network. We did have Laurel Highlands produce 14 points in the fourth quarter alone. Your score at the end of one was in favor of Mount Pleasant, 6-3. Halftime, 20-12 in favor of the Lady Vikings. 26-16 at the end of three, 36-30. Your final score on the Laurel Highlands side. Good afternoon for Taylor Swartfeger, who finished with 13 points and also certainly had her fair share of rebounds, steals, and she even picked up a block in that fourth quarter. 6 points for Isabella Paschke, 4 points for Chloe Price, 3 points each for Haven Harris and Haley Benko, and 1 point for Madison Brooks. Paschke, Benko, and Harris had the made threes for Laurel Highlands. Paschke had 2. Benko and Harris had 1 each. On the Mount Pleasant side, several different scores for the Lady Vikings. Of course, Riley Drazel was their leading scorer today. She had 9 points in the first half. In the second half, she did quite a bit of damage from the foul line. She made her way to the foul line 3 times in the second half alone, where she was 4 of 6. She added another field goal to have 6 points in the second half and 15 points overall for Riley Drazel. Also scoring for Mount Pleasant, Grace Arrigo. She had 6 all in the first half. Danica Trainer, 4 points all in the second half. 4 points for Addison Cole. 3 points for Victoria Tepper. Those all came in the second half. 1 point for Laurel Rummel. 1 point for Lexi Baker. So, Carl, a tough loss for Laurel Highlands. But, of course, the good news for them, if they're able to bounce back with a win against Ringgold on Monday and they win against Jock, they're not totally out of it yet, especially now if Ringgold would also lose to Mount Pleasant. That's really what Laurel Highlands will need to have happen when Ringgold and Mount Pleasant play next week. Laurel Highlands needs to beat Ringgold on Monday, and they need that Ringgold team to lose here at Mount Pleasant at the end of the week.
So not all hope is lost for Laurel Highlands. Mount Pleasant put themselves in the driver's seat.
Right.
Things are still interesting. Next week's going to be a great final week for high school hoops for both men and women. But good luck to both teams. Both teams pretty solid. Mount Pleasant pretty tough. Haven't had the opportunity to see Ringgold, but knowing that they're right there with these two teams, I'm sure they're pretty good. So it'll be an interesting next week.
Best of luck to head coach Rick Hill and the Laurel Highlands Lady Mustangs next week, as they do need to pick up a couple wins and they need some help, and that help probably needs to come from this Mount Pleasant team later next week. We'd like to thank our sponsors, Davis & Davis Attorneys at Law, the Sprouse Insurance Group, and Agent David Hughes, SWGI Specialist, now a part of U.S. Digestive Health, the UPMC Rehabilitation Institute and physical therapist Jim Burns, United Bank, Laurel Highlands Girls Basketball Boosters, and the South Union Township Supervisors Bob Schiffbauer, Rick Vernon, and Jason Scott. Today's game on the South Union Township Sports Network was a joint cooperative venture with Township Supervisors Bob Schiffbauer, Rick Vernon, and Jason Scott, along with Armstrong and Breezeline Cable and our friends at CUTV, including Gary Smith. Again, our final score, Mount Pleasant 36, Laurel Highlands 30. For Carl Childs, I'm Joshua Scully. You've been watching the South Union Township Sports Network.